Building an underground structure, any kind of underground structure, poses particular challenges. But Earthbag construction underground poses a specific set of challenges.
I don't think there are a lot of underground Earthbag structures that we've seen.
Not too many people are doing.
But we have come across some. Some have been successful, some not so much.
Now why is it? What's the big difference?
There's some things that you have to keep in mind when building any kind of Earthbag structure, but it becomes critical when working underground, and there's certain things that are just going to make it stronger and more likely to succeed.
What's up, Greensteaders? I'm back out here in the underground Earthbag house. We're about to get back to it. So exciting. Now, if you caught our last video, we put in Velcro plates for the electrical work. Got another course done. And we're about to get back to it. I can't wait. I'm so excited about the plans that we have going on. But we got to get started. Jess is waiting to get the barbed wire done, and she can't do that unless I get this step in. So let's get that done. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. Jessica's all ready for the barbed wire. I'm falling behind. Now I'm just putting a 2x4 down here temporarily to kind of support the end here. It's definitely not going to be a permanent solution to supporting the stair, just temporary. Check out this level.
Ooh, that's perfect.
You heard it here, folks. And she's a tough one to please. So Jess is already following up behind me, getting the barbed wire ready. I'm going to slip on some gloves, give her a hand. I'm going to kind of go up on top, guide the wire. I think that makes this whole process a little faster, a little less dangerous maybe.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, Jessica's finished up with the barbed wire. She's getting some bags. Meanwhile, I got to prep dirt. I splurged a bit, picked up a new shovel, got one of them fancy fiberglass handles. I think these work well out here in the desert. The sun doesn't wreak as much havoc on these handles as the wood ones. It's a little bit lighter, and I actually have a point on the shovel. My other shovel was so dull, it was crazy. So we'll see how this goes, see if this makes it any easier. Look who's pretty in purple. Let's give a thumbs up for the hardest working woman on YouTube. First bag for course number 6. Jess, how you feeling?
Good.
Feeling good? Feeling well rested? Ready to go? Jess is rocking and rolling. I got a bunch of dirt prepared, but I got to keep the dirt flowing, otherwise we're going to come to a screeching halt. So I'm going to keep shoveling, and I guess you're going to keep filling?
Yep.
She's fast, so I got to get to it. We've definitely put a lot of thought into building it underground before we decided to make that move. It's not just something that we decided, hey, this would be kind of a cool thing to do. One thing to consider that I know of off the top of my head is where you are located. You got to consider the environment.
Yeah, before you even start building, you want to design it for your climate and for the environment that it's in for the specific site. So there's certain areas where it's probably not a good idea to build an underground Earthbag structure. You probably could, but I don't know if it would be worth the risk and worth the work involved in order to make it successful. So anywhere with a high water table, that's kind of risky. And anywhere where you're in a floodplain, if you're living like in a swamp or something, you might not want to build an underground Earthbag structure. And around here, you know, there are areas where there are washes or seasonal streams. It might be dry for most of the year, and then all of a sudden you have a lot of water coming through. You don't want to build there. Also, areas with steep slopes, there's a risk of erosion, mudslides, rocks falling, and things like that. Building underground, the soil around the build site can be a factor too. Things like expansive clay, and anywhere where the ground's going to be more unstable, you really want to be careful.
So obviously we're building in a dry climate. The soil seems to be really stable.
Even before we bought this property, we did some research on the land, the topography, the climate, the water table, the way that water moves across the land. So we had a pretty good idea what we were getting into before we started building here.
So we used to be able to gravity feed water from our poly tanks over to the trailer. Because this year's been so dry, we haven't collected much water, so we're getting pretty low. So all the water that we use now has to get pumped from the poly tanks over to the trailer. But hopefully we get some more rain, that would be nice. But we're getting pretty low on water right now. But we gotta keep building.
When you do start building, you want to have the right materials. Before we started doing some of our bigger builds, we did some test projects. And one thing that we learned was the types of bags that you use can make a difference. So usually what is used in Earthbag building is woven polypropylene bags. And we did some smaller projects and we used the woven polypropylene bags. The only problem was they were coated with something, so it didn't allow the soil inside to fully dry out.
Definitely get the uncoated kind. You want the bags breathable. It's important to get that transfer of moisture in and out of the bags.
Also, what you put inside the bags is very important. We're using soil right here from our property and we did a lot of testing on it. And the makeup of our soil we felt pretty comfortable building with. The cool thing about earth bags is the bags themselves act as a mechanical stabilizer. The bags do a lot to keep the integrity as solid bricks. I think what you want to avoid is any kind of expansive clay, and you probably don't want too much silt in your soil either.
So definitely do your testing beforehand. Dang, that's it, course number 6, right? We're getting close to halfway. Look at this, look at my voice.
Drink some water.
I've got to drink some water. All right, I'm gonna get some water. Then I'm gonna come out and do some tamping, but we've made pretty good time. Hey, what time is it? 2 o'clock. Not too bad.
Not our best time, but...
What's that, 5 hours altogether, right?
Yeah.
But hey, we're done, not too bad. Maybe I'll get this tamping done, and maybe we can get the barbed wire done. That way we can just get out here right away tomorrow, knock out course number 7, right? Let's get it done, y'all. Woo. And that is it. Tamping is done. Probably took me about an hour with a little break in between. Now we'll just got here. We'll do the barbed wire and then we'll be ready for course 7. Very exciting.
Another potential mistake you can make with earth bags is not putting barbed wire between your courses, especially underground.
Not only does it lock the layers in place, but it provides us that tensile strength.
Any kind of lateral support underground is really important.
12 gauge barbed wire, 4-prong.
Yep, that's what we use, and we do 2 strands in between every course.
So after we got done with the bags and the barbed wire yesterday, I still had a lot of energy and I was trying to work some things through in my mind. I knew that that course was going to be the last course that we could use the dirt chute. It's just getting too high, the chute comes up over the bags down to the floor and there's just not enough room to maneuver. Because I felt it was still a fantastic way for Jess and I to work together, the only way we'd be able to work now is like I fill up a wheelbarrow, bring it over, fill up the cans and hand it to her, and then she has to wait while I fill up the wheelbarrow again, which just takes up way too much time. So I modified the dirt chute. I used to have 2 of these metal sheets hooked up together with a pair of back legs at the top and a giant pair of legs at the bottom. So I've taken one of those metal straps off. You can see I've removed the back legs here. So pretty much I completely disassembled the supports from the back and the front and reassembled them toward the front right here. We're gonna find out if it works real soon here. Uh-oh, someone's finally out to join us. Good morning. I want to see how this handles the dirt. So far, so good. Let's load it up. Oh, you're impressed, aren't you? This is good quality dirt that I prepped really early this morning. So far, I'm impressed with my work. Not only was I able to scoop the dirt in there without this thing shifting or buckling or anything like that, but it can hold a whole wheelbarrow's worth of dirt. Now Jess gonna start scooping. She's gonna see how that works and whether it holds up to the rigorous things she puts it through while scooping the dirt out. You ready?
Ready.
Wow, look at we're so close to the above ground level. Now you can keep an eye on this guy.
Freedom! I'm over here!
That kind of
Look. Another thing with walls, you definitely need that lateral support, especially building underground. It's super important. Underground, the walls are going to be under the pressure of the earth around it. Now we're building a round structure. That's like the ultimate buttressing because there's support on all sides.
Especially when you're building with Earthbag, round is sound.
I would always recommend anyone building underground to build a round structure. It's just going to be a lot stronger.
First bag done, course number 7. We're about to get it done, y'all. Ha!
So we mentioned a little about the moisture and drainage in your environment. Obviously that's an important thing when building underground, and I've lived in some buildings that were not Earthbag that had drainage issues in basements in wetter climates. We are using a plastic barrier around our walls. It may not be necessary for our climate.
Yeah, we're doing it just as a precautionary thing.
We have a gravel foundation that provides a capillary break is important for an Earthbag structure. You need something that's going to prevent water from wicking up into the walls. We're specifically paying a lot of attention to what happens outside on the ground surface. The way that we design our underground portions of our house, they're a little smaller than the above ground portions. The outer walls are wider and it's going to protect this area even more. And in addition to that, we'll have proper drainage of water, you know, coming off the house. Obviously, we're going to be collecting that rainwater. We'll be doing earthworks, possibly French drains or swales. Make sure there's no water getting in around near the foundation. Plus, good ventilation inside is important because earth will absorb moisture, but that moisture needs some place to go. And if it's below ground,
Ain't got nowhere to go.
don't lock it into the walls with something like cement or something that isn't going to allow that to breathe and escape.
I think the Chute did really well for us. Otherwise, I would have had to bring the wheelbarrow over, scoop out the cans, and then she would have had to have waited while I filled up another wheelbarrow and brought it over. So to me, I think the new Chute really saved a lot of time.
Yeah, I think it did.
Now, what are your thoughts? You actually thought it was a little easier, didn't you?
Yeah, because now I'm standing next to it, I'm kind of scooping down from above instead of having to do that. It's a little bit easier to scoop the dirt out.
So a little bit easier. So that's a winner, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we're excited. We got another t-shirt design. What are we doing over here?
Building an Earthbag house.
That's right. And I like to put a hashtag Earthbaggins. So what did you do?
I made an Earthbaggins t-shirt design.
Earthbaggins t-shirt design. New addition to the t-shirt lineup. Go check it out. Great way to support the channel and have something cool to wear. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'll tell ya. So that was the first time we used the modified chute, and it works nice. So course number 7 is filled. I gotta get down there and get to tamping, but it's looking really good. We're making some real good progress. I can't wait.
Tamping is another big part of this whole process. Everything needs to be compacted. That makes it a lot stronger.
You get that bonus of building the upper body strength. So strong walls, strong upper body.
So freezing and thawing is another thing that can kind of mess up the compaction of the bags. Fortunately, we live somewhere that has milder winters, so it's unlikely that the bags are gonna freeze to any significant extent.
Woo! I am exhausted. So course number 7 is done. Very exciting, we're almost halfway there. With this chute, these walls are gonna be up like that. All right, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Definitely don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you know when we put out a video. All right, we'll catch you on the next video, everyone.